Afternoon. Let's give it a couple of moments. 4 o'clock will start. Give them some jip. I thought it was coming right up. What's this on 15 minutes, about an hour ago? Starting to climb. I thought, hang on, it's coming right. And then everything came off. How's it, guys? Okay, 4 o'clock. Get started. Just start off with this one. No, it's not looking pretty, but it is holding. It's a 15-minute chart, you can see. It is holding. So what's the 15? So still not too close to stop. So all I can say to that one, keep your fingers crossed. Not much more I can say. The GBP AUD is around about same entry. 1.7985 the signal. It's around about the same price at the moment, so not really going anywhere, but it's not going negative or particularly positive cover that. It's just drifting. This one actually looking a lot prettier, some people got in at 2035, some people got in a lot better, because as the signal is sent out, as I stressed a lot of guys, it jumps up, that's the noise, and you like it and get a better price. I think a lot of people were taking the niceness of that and doing just that. So a lot of guys got about 2050. The beauty now is with the 5 o'clock show coming up, you can modify the stop, and you would anyway, even if there's no power talking or not, because obviously, what's that, 25 and 50 or 35? I'll call it 35. Better's better. That's still 35 and 25 odd, which is 60 pips in profit. So what you can do is maybe modify it to, I don't know where you got in at, remember that, please. If you got in at 25, you won't be breaking even, you put it at 30. So I'm saying 1.2030 as a suggestion, if you like to do that, so you're protected in case power stuck the system up. Or you make tighter, that against your choice. You put it too tight, and it whips or takes you out and the screen's off, you won't be on board. That's the guesswork tightrope walk you're going to think of. But whatever you do, make sure you put the stop loss down into maybe around about the 1 to 2030 mark, so you're protected. Some will be in a profit, some will be just about breaking even. And I don't know what price you got in. I'm thinking about the signal. Got a couple hundred people or so, maybe more going in on it. Didn't check actually, but there's quite a few going in on it. Okay, so we can't do much about the pound AUD and certainly Euro JPY. Just hope it comes right. Maybe get lucky on that. Okay, now I just want to reiterate again, I'm sure a lot of you know it, but just in case, this is not like CPI or PPI or GDP or whatever it happens to be. This is a guy talking. It's not a release of data. It'll be talking. So you'll see some moving around. Just bear that in mind. So don't get too carried away. It looks like good news. 5 minutes later, a question might be asked, and it might not be what you want to hear. The opposite effect. Expect some moving around. Just accept that. The size of moving around, or what after you finish talking, the direction, leave that up to the next galaxy or the person in the heavens, whatever it happens to be, because I don't know, and probably nobody else does. Even Powell doesn't know that. Depends on the question answer and the market's take. So nobody knows. In fact, for once, actually, literally nobody, including himself.
I'm thinking you're better saying it.
Do you agree with that suggestion? Because I'm not sure I do. I'm just teasing. I'm just going to mute you. Just going to mute you. Only kidding. Don't forget, if you're on a chit chat, please do absolutely. You get to sing the sound of your own voice. Think how I feel. So it'd be nice to have you join in. I'll just unmute you there. It takes 2 seconds. Okay, well, the dollar's rising. I thought it was a bit overcooked, and I think it might get a bounce, what seems to be happening. So there we are. Gold, I said, not too keen on going in for it, but I expect some downward time. I was worried about the Fed, as you well know, Powell in particular. Maybe for everyone. Should be for everyone, yeah. No, never mind. Okay, right. So bottom line is it did come off, but it was too risky to say go for it because anything could have happened. But it looks like they're expecting some hawkish. Why is it coming off? Why is the dollar going up? Why is the yield up? Just give me a second. Not really. No, yields aren't going up that much, but they're not really going down. But maybe they're expecting some hawkish stuff coming out. I don't know. Maybe they're banking on that or guessing that. We still don't know. But whatever the reason is, dollar's gone up, so gold, I understand, has come off a bit, and it was a bit overboard up there. But it was still, my opinion, if you want to go for it as a sell, fair enough. But I wasn't keen to put it out as an idea to jump on with too many worries about 5 o'clock coming out. But anyway, it seemed to come off. Some guys might have chased it. It's up to you, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll stick with that. Leave it alone. How's it, MK? Okay. So just to reiterate, this is him speaking, it's not a data release. Okay. Major difference. Hope you all got that. Okay, so this one's doing doing very well. And we had one the other, the GBP USD is doing very well. We had a trade out there the other day and we didn't do too well. So maybe this is going to even the situation up. We're doing okay. The other one we didn't do well on was this one. And maybe that will come to the party and even things on that. The Euro JPY, the AUD JPY, I do beg your pardon. Well, not much you can do about that at the moment. Hope it comes right. It's a possible dollar can do anything. Weak on the strength, depends on what he says. I keep saying, guys, I know I did the same when I started. You're looking for something concrete. You're looking for something concrete. I'm giving an example on that, just to move on that. Just give me an example on that. Some analysts focus something on my screen. Literally, just before it opens. Just a second. It's getting in the way of this. And it says, tell you what it says here. Expectations mount ahead of Powell's words. Right? Fantastic. So what do you do? This experience talking here. I keep on about BS mainstream media and that. This is a respected thing called Forex News. And if you want to subscribe to it, I haven't because I need to anyway. But anyway, they still post me stuff. Expectation mount on Powell's words. That's the headline. What do? You go into it. Aha. And all they do, I'm not going to read the article out, sift through, and all they're saying is, but this could happen and that could happen, etc. Trust me, Jake and everyone, nobody knows. They think you might get a dollar movement, but they could be wrong. Some people go in without doing a straddle trade before the CPI or the non-farms. They feel that's going to happen. Sometimes they come right, sometimes they don't. Nobody knows. In this case, how the market's going to actually, even Powell pretty sure doesn't know, unless he will know if he turns around. In that case, I'm definitely, this later on this month, going to raise by 0.5%. He won't make that statement. It's too jerk the markets around. But if he did, and he knows he's going to make it, well, then he will know what's going to happen. But otherwise, it's going to be Q&A and depending how the market reacts to it. Okay. So there's all sorts of what you're saying is, please, Roger, and this is Jacob, and you guys as well, can you give me some indication? I don't want to take advantage of it. If it was that easy, believe me, I will be sitting here preaching this stuff. I say, get all your money in, mortgage your house, and buy or sell the dollar, depending. No, I can't. There's a possibility the dollar could weaken. There's a possibility the dollar could strengthen. We don't know at this stage. Okay. The quicker one can get away with looking for the quick, easy buck, the no-brainer, the better. And then you rely on the skills involved, and then you can work accordingly around it. But that's very important to understand that concept. Okay. Because it's natural. I did it myself. But always, it's a natural human instinct to see if we make a quick, fast buck with very little risk, no hassle. Fortunately, there's millions of others that tried it on without coming up. Millions of people, but not millions, a large amount, not millions, but a large amount of people with extreme money, the best computer, the best analysts. And believe me, they don't know either till it's released. Okay. They will have some effect on it because they got more power financially speaking, more power overall, financially speaking. So if they collectively push it, they will move that market particularly. I get that. But I'm saying is overall, I can't even begin to give you a hint. You might act on it and be disappointed it doesn't work out. Mind you, it does work out. I'll be a big hero. All I'm telling you, if I was, I'd be lucky that time. Okay, bear that understanding. If you see a gap in the international multi-trillion-dollar market of a quick buck, when you've been doing it for a month or two, believe you me, well, you've reinvented the wheel if you find it, put it that way. Okay, it's been thought of. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So what I would suggest you do, I just said that, pound dollar, get your stop into not too wide. We want to keep the distance there in case we don't get stopped out in the whiplash and ends up being a fantastic trade. But we're actually talking about that, what your cake and eat it. This situation, you can have your cake and eat it. Because as I say, if you've got your stop into some sort of area of protection, worst can happen, you don't lose. The best you can happen, you make a nice, tidy profit. So that's probably as close to getting a win-win situation. It's too close in the GBP AUD to do that, so there's not much you can do on that. I just hope to God it doesn't go bad for you. And the Euro JPY, well, I keep saying Euro, something else, anything but the AUD JPY. The AUD JPY, we'll just have to let that run. And all I can say, take both your fingers and cross them. All I can say. Don't worry about trending cycles and cups and handles and whatever engulfing. Irrelevant. What happens there will jerk the markets around. Don't have to be frightened, just being aware. So teaching awareness process, and we'll see. And it could move up and down depending on, as I say, what take they've got. Don't try and think of any inside gap. I don't have it. Okay. And if anyone's out there says they do, I like to meet them and have a Q&A and ask them to find out what they know about the markets, which is probably very limited indeed. The bigger they talk, the more they shout, and probably the less they often know, unfortunately, the way it is. Okay, right, we'll move on from that. We'll just go over the NAS. That's opening up just now. It's been, I think, pretty sideways, slightly drift down, no surprise there. Again, anything can happen. Yeah, no surprise there, but anything can happen. Don't try and get cute with it. Luckily, it's not 9 o'clock, it's 5. So this watch or this session, he'll start, but we'll see how it moves. It might not get going for the first 5, 10, 15, 20. He usually does his little sort of chit chat of what he thinks, probably more or less the same, blah, blah, blah. The Q&A will come about. You're probably reporting, I'll give you an example. He'll say, I guess, right, we're making some way with inflation, bang, the market will move. Or at the moment, we're still keeping a keen eye on it because we haven't seen any big results or something like that. Even that's saying too much compared to what he'll put it, and that'll have an opposite effect. And even I'm trying to be diplomatic on that in my part, if you see what I mean. It's an extreme skill to try and say nothing at all or very little, because any inflection of it will create big moves on the market. Okay, it's a huge responsibility, I have to say. Right, hope we're all on the same page. GBP for long, okay. GBP, JPY for long. Go to the daily. We put that up. All right, okay. First looking at that, it's above the 50, no problem there. Below the 200, no problem there. Below the 100, no problem there. So it's below, it's between these two areas here. So that's telling us we know now, well, it's what I interpret, and we've got different opinions. I see that as a filter, say it's in the neutral zone. Okay, it's not above in the buy or the sell zone, so you can buy or sell it. Now you're looking for a long. It seems to be holding the 163 area, the round psychological figure, which I've mentioned many times. And every time it's come down on the daily, there's been a bit of a bounce, leading to, is it Jacob? Yeah, Jacob saying, this could be a possibility of a long. Actually, I tend to agree with you. I'm not a big lover of the pound, as I've mentioned many times, but I'm not a big lover of the JPY either. So they're a little bit even. So in this case, I'm not over anti buying the pound and selling the yen. However, I'm going to be a little bit honest with you. I'm still not over convinced. What is it? Let's have a look and see what the range is. We'll get too cute. There's your answer, Jacob. Always grab it. Remember, grab it. You can see it on the camera there. The mouse, little, what do you call that thing in the middle? Shows my textbook. Mark's not listening to this. That's terrible. That scroller in the middle has probably got a proper word for it. Anyway, yeah, and you'll see we're looking about 50, 60 pip range over the last few days. The risk involved going into this at this stage by buying the pound, and the yen is not that bad, to be fair, with the possibility of a 60 pip TP, meaning you've got to look at least about 30, 35 pip maximum stop, which could quickly take you out and move back in the right direction or go worse. I just don't think, to be honest, in simple English, there's enough meat on the bones to take that trade. Either way, short, why you say it's going to break down? Haven't given an indication, so long as the correct way to look at it, I would agree on that. I just think, though I agree with the trade, I just don't think there's enough meat on the bones to make the risk and all the hassles entailing with it make it worth your while. That's my personal opinion. But other than that, Jacob, I do agree with you. And remember, if you're range trading, again, another plus from Jacob's perspective, it's the bottom of the range. So you can maybe take it a short-term trade up to the top of the range, maybe a 60 pip TP with maybe, let's stop down, do this properly, stop down below there. That's too far away, won't make it. Yeah, you can manage to stop there about 62.71, and it's below the round figure. As a matter of fact, yeah, put it another way. If you've got enough money to take a bit of a punt on a very short-term, tight stop, tight TP, aggressive trade, it's more of a punt than anything else. At the bottom of the range, like a range trade, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. As long as you're aware of what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I tend to agree, not a bad idea. So anybody want to go along with Jacob and try and take a bit of a tight jump on the range trade? Just wait for you all to have a look at it, make your mind up and respond. You're okay with that, Derek? Thanks for the response. What about you, Gladys? So you attend a few of our trading rooms here, probably getting some idea now. What's your opinion? Do you want to, after that little bit of analysis, do you want to venture forth and do a quick range trade on this one? Got it. You know, I'm trying to get people who are not the usuals to start interacting. You're okay with that, okay? So you're not going to do it, I presume you by that. Okay, not for you, okay, yeah. Nice to be a bit more specific, no or yes rather. I'm okay, but fine. But, that's fine, but it's we need to get people a little bit off the fence to interact as what they want to do. The fear zone, sitting on the fence, won't make you a millionaire at all. You've got to sometimes got to be made, and difficult they may be. Okay. So, right, where were we? Okay, so we're going to leave this. Is that correct? Okay, Jacob, if you want to do it, there's your range trade, 35 pip stop, maybe a 60 pip TP, and maybe just go in with a, I don't count it. So you're going to maybe do your calculations to work out the fair risk if you're happy with it on a range trade. Okay, all good. Otherwise, not a bad idea. Thanks, Jacob. Okay, good stuff. Right. Anything you want to look at before we go into the 4:30 opening? Any trades? I think we'd be a little bit nervous to go to trade before 5 because it will affect the world's markets, and particularly shares, indices, that sort of thing. So be a little bit careful at 4:30 jumping into anything. If you're already in, we'll see how they open. Just tell me what you are. We'll look at it. Of course we will. You'd be, never be looking at it. You'll be looking at it clearly. Which I'll be a little bit iffy going before Powell starts bringing a buy or a long or a short, basically. That's the long and short of it. What do you want to do? Do you want to take it? Be highly fed up if it goes in your direction. But you'd be just as fed up you didn't take it, it bounced back up again. You won't make a loss, but you get rid of, what do you now in about a 70, 80 pip profit? 86 pip profit, you don't want to let that go. Don't blame you. 30 pips. I can't make that call, Mark. I don't know. I really, that's the coin, the flip of the coin you've got to make. Do I hang on for 30 to maybe make 150 or more, or maybe nothing much will happen and we'll steady in more of a decline? I can't make that call. There's many variables which can only be resulting in the price action after the chit chat's gone through. Yeah, I know, it's a stinker. Can't help with that, mate. I don't want to say I would do that like I did with Netflix. The thing continued up. I'm not going to take that burden off your shoulders. Sorry about that, mate. On this one, I'm going to be an absolute politician. In fact, no, I'm going to be a two-handed economist. On the one hand, I agree with you, but on the other hand, you've all heard that joke before. Everyone said the one-handed economist. We've always finish up by saying, on the other hand. So, damn it, sir. Yeah, no. Because I don't think I'll get any thanks for you or say, hold it, and it comes screaming off. But I'm sure I'll get virtual capture pies run through the ether at me if it shoots up and you could have got out with 86 pips profit. I know it's a toughie. And funny enough, psychology is always better on the other one. You've not much choice to make. You're not in a profit, no big decisions to make. Where's this one now? It's just bloody lousy all over. So it takes a decision from you. But now you're in a profit. This is awful because now you got to make a stinker of a decision. So I'm not laughing at. I'm laughing how psychology works. And I'm totally with you on it. Totally get it. What I do is I'll tell you what I'll do. Whether you move it or keep it stopped. Don't tamper with it too close. You need a bit of movement, not your normal 20, 30 pips, because you get some jumping around. You don't want to suddenly seesaw up, jump off, and then somebody else scream down, you're not on board. So don't start saying 50, 60. If you want to get it close, take the damn thing. Otherwise, at what price you get in? If you've got about 50, keep it 30, 18, 20, 50 pip, and that should protect you against a withdrawal. It absolutely is. You're laughing. That's why people hang on to losses because there's no decision made. Hold on till it comes right. In the profit, we've got to make decisions. Do I get out? Oh, it's jumping around again. Oh, I wish I had. I wish I hadn't. It's much tougher. Absolutely. It's like suddenly winning a lot of money. It's not easy because now you've got all those options open to you. Which one should I take? When you haven't got any money, it's easy. You don't have any choice. You can't take any of those options. 54, fine. Keep it 30 pips. That's nicely out of the way. All right, I will give you a hand here. What would I do in your place? At 54, I put the stop at 24 here. I keep the fingers crossed. I know I'm going to make some money on it, and simple as that. There's a bit of moral support for you. That's what I would do. And if you get stopped out at 30, we'll commiserate. You make a lot of money. I want a virtual big on the verbal back. So there. Okay, I think we're going to move on. Okay, a lot of positives will open up, but probably going into next week. Getting pals talking, then they say there's several coming out this week, and not just a lot of other stuff. So I think probably Friday afternoon, maybe going into Monday, hope to goodness we get some solid direction, because the lack of direction, guys, is the most difficult of all trading environments, which is, clearly makes sense, doesn't it? Where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? Have you all had those sort of discussions before? Nobody knows which restaurant or which bar or which club or which bloody thing they want to go to. Where you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? And just goes round in circles because nobody get off the fence. That's why strong leaders get all the accolades and the money and the power, because they can make decisions. Majority of people can't. They'll wish for doing this, that, and the other, but when it comes to actually doing it, they back off so quick it's scary. They're frightened. Okay, and that's the difference. The leaders from, unfortunately, us, really, the normal people. Yeah, yeah. Keep calling it Disney, but that was basically, you know, was that brilliant writer, Rudyard Kipling, brilliant writer. Anyway, well, there it is. Not much else we can do. So it's the basics. Getting to the next half hour, maybe a Q&A, a bit of a chit chat about anything. I'll go over to 4:30. But unless you can see some you want to have a look at, I think it's going to be from a trading perspective, a bit of thumb twiddling until it comes up. And even 5, it's not going to be immediate. You start speaking, and only in 10 minutes you might have an effect. We don't know. That might be a little bit of a grind. At least it's 5, but not solid 9. I love it. Brilliant. I love it. Yeah. That's so. How can you imagine that? Eh? Also, I'm sorry to have to introduce Mr. Powell's on load shedding. We can't speak until he gets his 14,000. What's that? His $800 inverter up and running. Most powerful economic person on the planet. That would be so bloody choice. I tell you what, that would be absolutely brilliant. We sure can. Yeah. And protect yourself, unless you're 5 pips or something, and you can't. Protect yourself, whatever, just in case. We don't want another situation like last week where we got kicked in the you-know-what by them from these. Brent, where's Brent? Still hovering around. Oh, Gerard, get you coming from. Sorry. Gerard. Yeah, I don't want an awkward situation here because I don't want people who are still long on it, then if Vicky's in here, to get out. I wonder if it might get to TP, and that's a TP that was sent out by the signal. But having said that, I think it might start breaking through. But on top of that, Gerard, I wouldn't get cute in now. Brent, also, I know it's affected by China supply and demand, but that can also be affected. Remember, oil is measured in dollars, and the US dollar is the currency of what's that called? Where's Puerto Rico, as well as the United States. And I presume there might be 1 or 2 countries like the US Virgin Islands, part of the system. I don't know if they're still independent or part of the United States dollar. But the point I'm trying to get at, people buy oil in dollars. So if the dollar strengthens, they have to pay more for the oil. So that can affect the price as well. So I'm going to be honest, I would get cute with that, or I do tend to leaning on the side that it might get a bit of down, but I'm not comfortable enough to say get in on it. And also have to say we have got to trade out with, I think it's 87 plus minus TP. I don't want to encourage people to suddenly take in the profit. It gets up there, then that's not the correct way of doing it. So I'm sorry, mate. I'm going to chuck it back in your area there. You do what you need to do on Brentwatch. You've got a bit of experience to make those decisions on it. But I personally would advise just leave me alone for now. It's only 45 minutes to go. And in fact, no, it's only just over half an hour to go. Well, that's when he starts, but you get the idea. Unless he's South African, like remember the last Parliament meeting over here and they're all late. That's a laugh. You can't even arrive for that on time. You know, what do I know the respects of me? Unbelievable. Okay. Okay, so anything you want to ask? Anything you like to look at? Dennis wants to chat to you there. I didn't see that. There goes to that was Mark, it wasn't Morris. Yeah. Well, I don't want to be negative, Morris, but I think it's a slight chance of Powell can afford an $800 inverter, and even he can't. I think there might be a chance he might be not getting load shedding to protect you. Sorry to throw cold water over your dreams of that, but somehow I'm feeling Powell will be speaking at that time, and it won't be a load shedding problem. I'm sticking my neck out on this, guys, but I think that's not going to be the case. So a lot is very good there. You want to look at dollar yen right now? Is that correct? So you think you'd like to go in with this one? Well, you've got a conservative position after daily candle close. Right, conservative position. What do you mean by a conservative position? Guy who's got 10 million rand might go with a standard lot. I think that's conservative. A guy with 1,000 rand going in one might be not conservative enough. One micro not conservative enough, that is. So what exactly at this stage of the game at 4:30 on a dollar related product you want to do with it, sorry? $139.40. Oh, I see. Close above 139. That's 300 pips away. So, in other words, you're looking at the trade now, but you want to look at it to close at 139, which is about 300 pips away. Remember, it's up there. We're looking 350 pips away. I think, to be honest, I think I'd rather worry about that when it gets near there. That's sort of, you know, a little bit far away to worry about it now. If it starts getting that sort of direction, we can have a look at it. You know what I'm saying? It's too far. It's like worrying what you're going to be doing on the 5th of August 2028. We'll worry about that when we get a bit closer. This is too far away. At the moment, I agree, it looks like a buy, but we're jumping in now. Definitely not. Still pending. No, it's not pending. Is it still pending? I would go in now. If it's a better price, you like to. You don't want to pend it. You want to get in. Why would you want to do a pending order on a better price? I would go in now. You're giving too much jip. Is that the run? Yeah, too much jip. It came out at 08. It's now over 45 pips below there. If you like it, the last thing you do is a pending order. If you like this one, you go in. You're getting a much better price. I'm hardly going to say it's at 750,000 rand the property. I'd rather wait till it gets back to 1 million rand and buy it. No, but I would say this is not looking pretty. If you're in it, stay with it. You got your protected stop loss. Stick with the strategy. I'm not sure I'll be joining it now. Everyone's got that, you know. You get a signal price is better, and you're like, I don't like to see, you don't like it, don't do anything, but if you like to see getting a better price, certainly won't be a pending, clearly be a market execution. Are we all clear on that? Anybody not clear on that? Don't put a buy or sell stop on a better price. What you're saying, wait for a worse price. Why would you do that? Don't tell me the buy or sell stop. The straddle trade will go into on Friday, or you're waiting for it to break above resistance here to buy. Wait for breakout to buy it above there. Then you might put a buy stop in. But if you want to go in there, the price that we say, we're suggesting you buy it here for, maybe buy it here, for instance, and it's dropped down to here. Well, what a pleasure. Not for the guys who already got in, for the guys who haven't, I mean. As long as you all got the, yeah, all can. As long as you got the concept, that's the main thing. Sorry, of course I will, sorry. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, go for it. Have I muted? Go for it. GBP. Can't go wrong on that one there. Put that in. Does it? Oh, good stuff. Green or blue, good stuff. Okay, Solly, I've unmuted. If you want to chit chat, absolute pleasure. Go for it. Trying to get cute on Mark there, but he's too quick. Oh, I see what you're talking about, Matt. You're talking green as in red, as not in blue. Gets you now. Of course, yeah, green candles since you're on about. Sorry, we were thick there. Excuse me. You need red, meaning blue. I get you now. Oh, right. Okay. Is that right? Where's up arrow then? I don't see an up arrow. Where is it? God, I tell you, I'll be honest, I'm sick of this stuff. Oh, on your keyboard, dickhead. Let's have a look. Oh, see what you mean. Thank you. Oh, you discovered it now. Make me feel a little bit better. Didn't know. Now we know. There you are, guys. Henry, solid. Do you want to chat? Have I unmuted?
Roger.
Go for it.
I have eliminated that noise on top of this ranging. Then that's why I've looked at this price, which is 139 as an entry point on a daily candle. So because of there's a noise on top of on top of this ranging, then I will leave it as it is, and then I will strictly go for a pending order. Hello.
It's too far away. I don't want to put a pending order, tie your margin up. I don't know how much money you got, but if you're limited in balance, why tie your margin up on a pending order 350 pips away? I wouldn't worry about it right now.
No, I was suggesting actually as a trade, as an idea. Actually, I don't have that particular amount. You know, so
I hear you. But unless you're talking about going in now, going in entry 350 pips away. I wouldn't worry about it now. It's too far in the future to worry about it now, unless you get something drastic moving. But I wouldn't worry about it now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we're all clear. Good stuff. Okay, let's go to the NAS, see what it's doing. Anybody any shares you want to look at? It's open to see. I bet it's quiet. Yeah, I thought so. Let's do the 5 minute. What's the time? Yeah, 5 minutes. Let's jump to, came off a bit. Let's do the 1 minute, even better. Yeah, came off a bit, jumped up a bit. It's probably just people getting in, getting out quickly on openings. And, you know, so 6 minutes to be precise. Okay, that's interesting. White suddenly shooting up there, apart from crossing and uncrossing, as mentioned before. I don't know. I thought it'd be a bit more sideways than that. Quite a lot, considering in 20 minutes we've got the main manner speaking. Well, 38 pips. Not major, but still, thought it'd be a fairly quiet opening. Obviously, some high-speed guys jumping around there as well. Remember, these guys, they don't do it themselves. You're a multi-million-dollar computer going in and out with virtually no costs. That's institutional stuff. Don't worry about it. I think you get your hands on that, unfortunately.
Sorry, Mr. Rogers. I thought we'll be done with the load shedding by now, but unfortunately my battery is flat. So I'll watch the recorded video on YouTube. If you don't mind.
I got you. Okay, of course I don't mind. Great to have you, Bundili, but yeah, put a few curses into the HCOM for me. I hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much, sir.
No
Bye, everyone.
problem. Cheers now. Baba, again, I wouldn't be doing it right now. I'm waiting for some, I'm waiting, look at that, it's open, look at that indecision. Yeah, it's not looking pretty. You see, oh, see, it might bounce off it, well, I hope. But maybe grasping with the technical stuff there for some hope on it, but I don't know. It's not pretty, but again, we try and aim at 2 out of 3. GBP AUD comes to the party. What's the GBP AUD doing now? That's not so great. And then what's this one doing? Still okay. It's going to hover around again. I wouldn't, there's small movements now, I wouldn't worry about. Just have to keep your fingers crossed. Yeah, that's what they do. It's all BlackRock, all of them, all the big boys have a computer do it. There's no human finger, even if you're an adept pianist. What's the word? Not adept. What do you call it? Virtuoso. Even a virtuoso, don't even follow classical music like Liszt. He was a virtuoso on the piano as well. So is Beethoven, right? Yeah, even their fingers, however quick, can't keep up with it. In and out with them, sometimes many in a second. Just in and out, no cost, just bang, 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 bang. That's another story. Don't worry about that. Okay. Well, probably not one guy, probably a multiple of them. They get the best. I mean, you start the job there at the bottom of 80, 90, 100 grand, $1,000 a year, work your way up. The cream of the cream of the cream they pick. They go around Harvard and Yale and that, picking them out and offering them big to come on board. A bit like The Firm you see in the film, where they offer the guy very high to make sure they get him, and turn out it was a mafia firm. Well, they're not, well, I suppose they are in some ways mafia, the control they've got, but yeah, you know, unfortunately, yeah, it's one of those things. Gap is huge, huge. Okay, now I wouldn't be touching it right now. I see your vision, go to the daily, could get a bit of upside. But look at this, indecision, decision. Was it Jacob who was it called for that? Sorry, Jacob, no, leave it alone. I'm not worried about Powell now. There's nothing telling me there to buy it. It seems to be hovering on the daily, going absolutely nowhere. I think it's in the sell zone here. I would rather be looking for short this, to be honest, but I wouldn't do anything right now. But if I was going to be doing this, I think, if anything, it's been there for over a week now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Week and a half, we've been hovering around the tight range. I still see, unless something brilliant's going to come through on the economy, which you'll know soon enough for the next couple of days anyway, I can't see the NASDAQ taking out 13,000. I see short the rally still as the way to go forward. There'll have to be some serious fundamental good news on the inflationary front and the lack of interest raising front to change that tune. Till that occurs, I'm sticking with the strategy to sell the rally. I'd rather be selling this, not buying it, but at the moment, nothing at all. There's no indication in the buyers and sellers. It's complete, total indecision on it. And even more so till Powell does his thing. Okay. I'm going to look at trades in case you're already in them. If anyone's in a trade or two on the, anyone in a share trade on a quick checkup? You can have a look if you like. The gold coming off might be a port for what's the word, for maybe the dollar getting up. We shall see. But don't chase any shares now if you're not in. Just wait. One of those things. I mentioned earlier on the week, on Monday, yesterday, that it is packed with important fundamentals, and the non-farms is particularly important this time. Very important, even more important than normal. So just be very aware. And when it's important as that, and people are skittish as that, they tend to overreact and grab onto news and overdo it. Good news becomes great news, and not so good news becomes terrible news. Fear being more powerful than greed, as I've mentioned many times. Just be careful. I wish you'd spoken up as for actually 4:45. Be more convenient for me. In fact, after this, I'm going to give him a call. I've got the hotline to him. Say, Powell, future, to convenient me and my trading room guys, 4:45 is more ideal. Except next week. Because remember, the clocks are going forward next week. I'll continue to remind you, because new guys coming in. New York Times going to summertime on Sunday, this coming Sunday. So Monday, a lot of these jobless claims and whatever will be coming out at 2:30, and the US markets and shares will go at 3:30 from Monday onwards. Just bear that in mind. Anyone missed this morning trading moment? I agree with you, Marius. Absolutely. But you didn't have to say that. He'll just go what's called the beige book and say, inflation was expected at so and so, but actually it's a little bit higher than expected. That's all he has to say, and you'll start seeing movement. Because they'll interpret, inflation's going up, interest rates, jump, bang, bang, bang. Because remember, they're human like you and I. Institutions just the same. They're trying to get an edge in it to make a quick fast buck like everybody else. They're no different. They might have more equipment, more money, they might be on more power, but the animal needs the same. They cry when the loved ones leave, and they jump up and down when they see a quick buck like everybody else. So, any questions? Anything you're not sure of? We've got 15 minutes before wait to see starts, and even then, it's going to be few. When he comes in, it's not going to get straight to the point. It's going to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, do a bit of nice and out the summit, they say in the North of England, chit chat before it gets going. So it's going to be for the rest of the time here. He's going to probably speak to an hour and a half or something like that, and Q&A is probably 2 hours of his time. So I doubt you're going to get much going unless you're a real scalper. Even now, be careful. Just see a bit of moving around. Just nice to see if we get something going. But even 5:30, I'm not sure we'll know. So we can do this. Derek, if anyone's new here, Gladys, be before, Buffenier, some new names in there. If you want to ask and you're getting a bit confused, well, I'm confused in 2 seconds. That's impossible. But there might be one thing you jot it down, say, you keep referring to this DXY. What the hell are you talking about on that subject? I've got a moment. First time, Derek, good stuff. Welcome, as they say. You'll find us a bit of a family in here. I'm a bit of a loudmouth, sort of a loud guy, which is a negative, but what you see is what you get, which I hope that turns a positive. I'm not one for sort of flaky, soft soaping. Oh, that's just so nice. You know, I'm not one for that. It can sound a bit harsh, your culture not used to it. But I think that deep down, you'd rather know where you stand, and a little bit like that. Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple of things for you here. Just keep an eye on this chat line. This is the DXY, or the US dollar index, made up of 6. Remember, 6 other currencies dominated by the euro. You want to know what the dollar's doing? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. As long as you're okay there. I don't want you to feel left out, because I chit chat to Mark and the guys, and because I got to know them over a period of time, like everything else. You're not being left out. Okay. Chirp up, and you'll be in there. Oh, unmute like Solly did. No problem. We're on your side. We're all here to help. And not one of us here didn't start somewhere when we first looked at it and thought, now what have we got Solly into? Now we're starting. Hang on, I'm getting the idea. Okay, for sure you do. But you're never going to be for sure, but you're going to know more. I've been doing this for 20 years and I don't know. You ask me what the euro dollar is going to be in hours time, I don't know. But you start getting a little bit better at it. You're never going to be 100% sure. That's impossible. Otherwise, you won't have a market. Get that. Don't look for the easy way out. There's no sure. If someone says you're 95% right, that, believe me, might for a couple of trades and got lucky. But over a long period of time, 95% correct trades, I've never seen ever anyone achieve that over a period of a year or two. That's not going to happen. So you've got to accept you're going to take the loss as well. But hopefully the losses will be reduced once you get your volumes and understanding, spend a bit of time, get your knowledge up. I expect, Derek, you're a better driver now than you first got in a motor car. You get the idea. Same principle. Anyway, I put up the DXY. If you haven't got it, save it. I'm going to put up the euro calendar. So euro, the economic calendar. That's very important. We talk about news fundamentals. There they are. Copy and save it. And something a little bit more complicated, but not really. is the yields on what the American US, we call it a note, it's a 10-year bond, same thing, okay? That is the yields we're after. And the reason why we're interested in the yields, because it works inversely proportional to the shares, indices, and gold. So the higher the yields, the higher the dollar. Gold in theory, there's always in theory, it's not 100% in this, in theory should come off, so should the indices, and so should the shares. If you're selling short on the NAS, you want the yields to rise. Okay, and the dollar as well. Have we done the dollar yet? Dollar, yeah, I've done all three. Keep them, and when you're trading, you're going live on your laptop, minimize them and refer to them. You don't be jumping in before a major fundamental comes out, and do a couple of classes, make sure you know the basics, Forex, etc. Obviously know how to operate the platform. Never call a broker up. So I'm not sure how to close this, or I'm not sure how to place a trade, or whatever. Brokers assume you've taken that trouble and know how to place a trade. They will assist you with the trading, but not teach you what button to press. You know what I'm saying? And that is laid on. Most brokers don't even do that. If you go to the bigger brokers and you say that, they'll think you're taking a mickey. Or what volume should I go, and whatever, they accept it, you know that. So we will lay that on for you by giving you the opportunity to attend the training room, the platform training. So get that under your belt, and then come to the training room, and then you can start developing the practical aspects, developing your expertise, okay? And then we get better, because let's be honest, guys, it's an unsophisticated area here, competing a highly sophisticated market in Europe, and particularly in America. So the quicker you get the edge, better it's going to be. If you ever know what I mean, it's the chit chat Bloomberg. You think, my goodness, what the hell are they on about? Don't worry about it. I'm not frightening you. Don't worry about it. But just say there's stuff to be done, and you get the edge, but you won't get the edge in your first driving lesson. Not to frighten you, but just common sense. Okay. I want to prepare you to realize in no such way to winning the lottery without winning anything without getting something from getting for you. Okay, right. And I keep on about it because it seems to be a predominant problem where things are, seem to think they're going to get all sorts of wonderful returns with very little to offer. So I just want to understand the reality of a fair trade-off, like all business. What's the time? 10 minutes. NAS, leave this alone, it's wasting of time. Gold still hovering around 1830. The NAS, we'll go back to the NAS. Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget, I'm doing 1 o'clock tomorrow, just about an hour. Bit of a chit chat about the NASDAQ. I'll go to the XAU USD, but not much time. It's just another name for gold, so it's not really a big deal that. For the NAS and the Dow, you can trade them on small amounts now because we have micro. Not micro 0.01, but as in a smaller contract value. Rather than waiting and quickly go for that. If you click on the instrument guides, right click, and then go to left click on specification, you see the contract size is 1 on the micro. Now, if you click on the normal micro, not talking about 0.01, that's normal block size. The difference is the contract size, and this one is 10. So clearly 0.01 on this one is 10 times the size as 0.01 on this one. We call it a micro. The correct name should really be a nano, as a matter of fact. But anyway, so it means on the micro, if people with small funds or potential bigger funds, but find their way around and learning, and before they put proper money in, that's the way they can, instead of playing around, wasting the time on a demo, they go on to the micro one, they can get action because the NASDAQ moves and they get real money, but the risk is very small indeed. All right, the rewards commensurate going to be very small. You know, if you risk one, you're going to £1 you're not going to make 100, clearly. But at the same time, it's more about overcoming the fear than worrying about making big profits at this stage of the game. So that I will be talking about. And unless you got an experience, you got 30, 40, 50 upwards, then you won't be worried about this one because you got the funds and the knowledge. But when you're starting, even if you started with a couple of grand, and you're saying, right, I can put another 20, 30 in, I'll just start this so I can get comfortable. You're not going to jump in the car and do 160 just because you can. You're going to, obey the speed limit. You know what you're doing, if you get my point. Okay, so if you want to join me there, I think it's been sent out to everyone by the company. But 1 till 2, I'm just going through the micro plus pros and cons and how to get it. How to get it. And if you can't add it by just putting in NASDAQ micro like I'm doing now, you've got a choice. If you've got it, just add it to your system there. If you can't do that for some reason, you just go to your portal, open a live account, look at the option for micros and clearly click on that one. If you're still not sure, you have a bit of problems, you're a bit nervous, don't call me, call your account manager. Remember, the account manager is there in the intermediary aspect to assist you, and the contact details are there on the portal as well. They'll help you in all of those areas. The only thing they cannot help you with is they cannot give trading advice. They're not qualified to do it. You have to be registered with the FSA to give trading advice. Okay, so if you want trading advice and you like John Smith and you speak to and you're great pals with them, that's great. Great big pals, but if you want trading advice, if you like it or not, you're going to come to this bombastic, loudmouth Tom speaking right here. No choice, I'm afraid. Wait it. Doesn't mean say I'm right and they don't know. It's just legal. You might be a brilliant driver, but you haven't got your license to learn how to drive. Simple as that. Not saying I'm better or worse than that. Just they're not licensed to, you know, haven't got a piece of paper to tell you. We work in conjunction, and that's great. We've got our different departments. Technical support, clearly for technicals, FICA for FICA, account manager, all intermediary, admin, open accounts or whatever, and trade sports particularly, and only not for platform trading, they have that as well, classes, stock market college, again, a separate company. They'll help you on that. But for trading, once you've got the idea and you can operate the platform, your account is funded, with pleasure, you can contact me. And I'll put the number up for WhatsApp to get what busy, just WhatsApp me. Roger, trading support. Put the WhatsApp, because I can't spend hours and hours in a conversation unless you decide to put 1 million in, then I might break the law. You know what I mean? Now, just want to mention as well, if you've got less than 500, I can't help you. I'm going to be quite upfront. It gets a hell of a busy, and figures like a 200 or 300 rand in your account, it's not going to, it's just, there's no value either side. But 500 bucks, even that's limiting, but it can. But if you've got 2.5 grand minimum balance and maintain that balance, or equivalent dollars of 150, let me know, and I'll upgrade you to the VIP WhatsApp. What does that mean? Sorry, VIP group. What's that mean? Well, it didn't really mean VIP. It didn't mean any more. You just get more simple. Simple as that. Because you have enough money to cope with them. Simple as that. Just for getting near 5, just remember that I say a lot, the other guys are sick of hearing it, but the newer guys, just remember the old adage. Rule number 1, not brilliant intelligence, but brilliant common sense. This is not do about sort of splitting the atom. This is not sort of particle physics and I don't know, mathematics of a different level. It's most of this you'll find is emotion and common sense. That's why, please, I beg of you, don't waste your time trading on the demo. Just there to learn how to operate the platform. Because you take that emotion out, you're taking out 80% of what trading's about. That's the stinker. Ask Mark, ask Marius, ask Etienne, anybody trading, or Gerard. They all tell you the difficult obstacle to overcome, even experience everybody, is the emotional aspect. When real money in your face, a profit and loss is going up and down, from the blue to the red. And if you don't have that sensation, you're not going to learn. And unfortunately, demos don't give that. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to bring the micro and the NAS, is to get people off the demo, to have a bash of the real thing, to feel it's like going live, and without having the frightening risk of a lot of money. Downside, you won't make much, but at least you take away that fear. Thank you, Mark. That's exactly it. Hope you all understand what you mean by that. I do, but they might get behind the stick. Nothing quite like seeing your account 50% drawdown. That plays on your head. And it doesn't matter if you've got plenty of money. It's just it's an innate knock on your head. I've seen people carry on and go out for a meal and spend twice that in a meal that night. It's just it's not just the money. It somehow knocks at your brain. I'm failing somehow, and that's what hurts. It's a play on. It really. It's like all these sports stars. It's all a play on your head. And that don't took me, it took me a long time to start getting the idea. I'd have been a bloody trillionaire, but I exaggerate, but a lot better if I could have controlled my mind in the early days. Very important. Yeah. It doesn't help much, to be honest, when people promise all sorts of unrealistic expectations and then find that it's more dreamland reality. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the big things they say, the lottery is a tax on the poor, because it's most of the people who ill afford even the lottery ticket are buying it for the dream. But of course, the millions and millions to one against them winning that lottery. You get the idea. But the point is, a lot of the times, to be fair, people are filled with unrealistic expectations. My job is to try and say, do this properly. Don't take your dreams away, but be realistic. Don't start walking around town with saying budding billionaire on your t-shirt, because everyone's going to think you're a bit of a dick. You know what I mean? Because I know it's BS. Try and be realistic. And certainly UK, they're not so polite. That's why I rather avoid it. Right, a couple of minutes and he's going to get started. I wonder if we can find it somewhere we can listen to it. I've got faff around British.org now to bring up Bloomberg. Should have prepared it. Should have something flashing on. Investing.com. Then I can find investing.com. Maybe this is what we got to say. But I can't see. I'm sorry, guys. Unless we can just let it run, keep an eye on this, and have a question answer session, discuss a few things. Somebody just started, like Derek. He wants to start getting up to speed. I can help a little bit with that. Remember, it's a trading room, but in the absence of trades, then we can discuss other stuff that is relevant. It's not a training where you're going to get a free stock market college package here by coming for free, spending whatever you're spending on that area there. No, but I can do some practical clarity. First of all, Derek, we'll keep talking about Powell. That's Jerome Powell. He's the chairman of the chairman of the US Federal Reserve, and he is the most important financial person on the planet. Not the president of the United States, no. Especially not this one, who's basically there putting them by powers in the swamp anyway. They cut in a deal. It's actually bloody wrong, but anyway, that's what it is. They own the media and they backed him. So we'll back you, but you have some slack and get you elected. Sort of. Sorry, voters, you were paid like they are over here, everywhere, in fact. But yeah, he's the most important. So you've got to know who he is, chairman of the US Fed. And then the next one in line, but a long way distance, is Christine Lagarde. And it's not because she's female, it just happens she's less important to the financial world as Powell. Christine Lagarde, and she is the president of the ECB, the European Central Bank. So she's the president of the ECB, and he's the chairman of the US Federal Reserve. Oh, I like it. When I see that, I'm assuming the red is meaning blue. Sorry, Derek, I don't know what the hell he's on about. He's going short. See, the red means it's going down, theory, which means it's going blue. Oh, what am I seeing here? Hey, with about 100 pips in, 110 pips in profit. Oh, I like it. Let's go get some bad news. I can't stand good news. It really upsets my day. Let's get some bad news going. What's AUD JPY doing? Just as badly. Yep, just as badly. So therefore, just to spoil your day and throw cold water, that one's not doing well at all. It's looking pretty damn bad. Still 30, 40 pips, whatever it is, 115, isn't it? 115. So still 40 pips will stop. So stick with your strategy, get in your name, get in your knees and start praying on that one. What's the GBP AUD doing? Nothing much, but it's not exactly a horror story like the AUD JPY. Right. Could the market surprise this time? Of course, yeah. Powell's a way of saying things that intentionally or not move markets. I think not intentionally. I'm sorry, I just want to stop there for a minute. For what it's worth, I believe he's genuinely apolitical. In other words, not a Dem or a Republican. Okay? I personally believe he's going to do what he's paid for, do best for the American economy going forward. Whether he's right or wrong, we'll see. I do believe his intentions are correct. And I will not intentionally he's not a bought person like, I hate to say it, Biden is, if you feel what I mean. Donald says Alan Ruskin doesn't think that bill will case standard investors waiting for a big move will be disappointed. This given hope of an outside rector power this time around, it's going to be disappointed with power to not have crucial data and give them other firms to estimate. Oh, that's right. Well, he should have the basebook in front of him, so I don't know about that. Could well be. But I think what he's trying to say is he's been reiterating for quite a while now about getting inflation down after COVID. And if it takes another increase, he'll do it. If the inflation figures are looking okay, then he'll hold off on it. Simple as that. And that's what we're going to see. But as he's quite right, it could be a damp squib. But am I going to put big money on that? And the off chance that guy you're never going to meet in your life, or Mr. Alan Ruskin of the Deutsche Bank. And I know Deutsche Bank, you have an account there. So yeah, are you going to put money on it, or are you going to play safe and see what happens? This is looking like bloody pain in the backside, this one. This is not looking pretty either. So GBP USD is making up for those two. I like to get 2 out of 3. One looks like a complete disaster at the moment. Remember the dollar yen, 3 pips from stop, and then you end up hit the TP. So we'll see. It looks like the AUD, it's looking fairly weak, isn't it? Nothing's coming out that won't come out now because obviously they're fast bloody asleep, different time zone. What's happened to dollar? That's a good point because he's speaking now, isn't it? Just going to quickly go over to my DXY. Got it, Derek and Company. Got it saved there and have a quick check at it. Should have it all there. Everyone should have it there and have a quick check, see what it's doing. But that's not the dollar, that's pound and AUD, you know. But surely just saying hello, hi, how are you sort of stuff. Started already. Look at that. Wow. What are the yields doing? Just a second, check your yields. Yields going up a little bit. Haven't taken out 4 yet. I tell you what I think, Morris, on what you've wrote there. I think, despite what Ruskin says, he was so skittish around the world. I think even it's disappointing what he says. I think you probably get a lot of overreaction to it. A cut finger is going to be gangrene, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, brilliant. Now, 47 Rand doesn't really mean anything. You've got to look at the percentage of your balance. If you've got 50K in there, that's nice to have a win. But if you've got 1,000K in there, that's a fantastic return percentage-wise. So the amounts are not the relevancy, it's the percentage. You've got to say, if I put my money in a bank, I get 5, 6, 7% depending per year. You get the idea. So if you look at the percentage, that's the way to look at it and put it in perspective. Oh, I see what you mean. What is it, TP? 1917, according to this. Is it not? Is it there already? Yeah. It's at the TP, guys. So do you see what he's done there? Hey, TP, thank you. What he's done there is instead of hitting his TP and getting off the winning train, he's modified the TP. Don't modify the stop alone, modify the TP and modify the stop. Why get off the train? He's going to pick up 100 pips, I'm assuming, where stop is right now, or 150 or 200 or more. He's riding it. He's getting the idea. Well, I gather you make moving down as usually that would be very bright. Yeah. So you've done the same, NK. You're learning, yeah. We're so fixated on the stop loss, we can actually maximize more than I've written it down because most of the guys out there won't know that and they'll hit the TP in happy days. But the guys on board who join the trading room think, hang on, what the hell should I get off now? This is going well. Modify your stop, you're built in a beautiful profit, and you might get an exceptional profit. Far better than the TP. Fantastic. Well, Pete, sorry about that, but I can't say my heart's bleeding too much. At least it hit the TP. Shame. Poor old Pete. It only hit the TP. Well, I tell you what, can you do some sort of, this sort of thing to Pete there, Mark? Hey, tease him a little bit there. That's the time to tease a guy when he's done well, not when he's not done well. my body language starting to take off. Good heavens, Mark, don't tell me that. That'll give me a heart attack. Mark, break even today? No, what are you kidding me? I've got a couple of losing trades to stuff that up for you. Yeah, what about buying the ZAR against the, no, we know that, NK. We know that one is not good. That's not good. But NK, I don't know when you got in, you might have gotten a better price. The disaster might be as bad for you as it is for some who got it, unfortunately, my signals price. Manda, that's great. I know it makes a TP. It's whether you modify and getting a better return on it. Look, it's really getting nicely. So you stick with it, guys who modified the TP. If you're not, don't chase it now. For the guys who modified, stick with it. Stick with it. Now I'm going back to the dollar, it's going up. So far, probably the intention is a stronger dollar. GBAUD, has it come back? It's hovering there, it's trying to come back. It's the EUR JPY is the only problem. AUD JPY. Oh, that's about stuff this. So it looks like, unfortunately, remember there's a good reason for that, technically speaking. We all thought it was good, not just me, we discussed it. And it looks like this one's going to be a bummer. That's why I say again, guys, if you've got limited amounts in your account and you've got 3 trades and you can only afford one of them, if you're lucky, you got the pound dollar. If you're unlucky, to pick this one. And now the limited account amount of capital is now becoming very limited amount of capital. That's why I can't overestimate. Mine didn't come to me. I'm not trying to sell you some here. I'm trying to get exercise common sense. If you haven't got enough money, you cannot diversify all your eggs in one basket, and you have to make a choice. Which of the 3 are going to win? Well, 3 might win, or 3 might not, but 2 might win, 1 might lose. Which one is it going to be? We don't know, and you're unlucky you picked the wrong one. This one, unfortunately, was the wrong one. Guys who picked all 3 would be more than made up on the cable, we'll call the correct name, would have made far more than the losing on this one. They got the volumes right. And remember the GBAUD, it's not okay, but it's certainly not a disaster. That might also come to the party. That's why I say, if you've got small amounts and that's all you can afford, that's one thing. If it's small amounts and you can afford more, try it and do it properly. If you're doing it half cock, that's the problem. Not being nasty or anything like that, it's just economic reality. We need to dream, but we need some economic reality. Don't go house hunting with 20 grand. You might find a tent, but it's not going to make you very happy. On the unstable cable, aha! Yes, indeed, Ken. God, I can almost feel the rays of sunshine for that bloody beaming smile from Mr. Shearer there. And he's a step ahead, but he had the sense to modify the TP. God, he's nearly insufferable as me on a bad day. Brilliant. My way of saying bloody brilliant, Mark. Well done, being on the board. It's good news. More up banter, more chuffed I am. It looks like, Gerard, if you took the trade, you're probably right. I couldn't say thumbs up, and it looks like you're right. Anyway, okay, Dow should be coming off, or NAS should be coming off. Yep, no surprise there. Good. Okay, well, you did pretty well. I'm not going to your figures, not for me, but I obviously know, Maris. I don't think you should be too upset with that. You did bloody well. Yes, that's right. This is Ken's calling unstable cable. Pound dollar is known in the industry as the cable, and the dollar Canadian is known as the loonie. So I'll have to leave Ken to come out with the loonie one. But yeah, the cable, the unstable cable. Well, it certainly offered some good stuff today. I'm pleased about that, because the other ones, we'll see, but that one looks like it's a bit of a bad one. But at least you know, Derek and company, you're not going to get all trades right. Good, great to learn this. We're all cheerful about a good one, but no, you're not. And somebody says, oh, these trades, oh, yeah, no problem at all. No, not getting them all right. Do our best, but the market's made up of millions and millions of people with different ideas and different emotions. So you've got to protect yourself with great volume. I presume you've been to classes, Derek and people, and I presume you all got the position size calculator. Do not go in if you can't work out your volumes. And don't ask me, well, I can help you, but it takes time. And please, if you need help on that, don't say, should I go 0.02? I mean, say I've got this amount in my account, give me data, otherwise I've got to look it up and that's time consuming. But in theory, you shouldn't be asking that. You should know what you got, what you're prepared to risk, and on the information of the signal, that basically does it for you. In fact, it should be just 0.01 and you multiply it up. You can give it 2, 3, and 4, and 5 micros, so or extrapolate from there. So just it will help you, but make sure you get those volumes right, and not risk 100 units on one and 200 another. Rather be consistent and get the discipline that requires. Yes, it can. We call it whiplash. Absolutely, it can. But he's been pretty consistent. So I wouldn't blame Powell. He's consistent. It's how the people out there interpret it. How many times everybody here, including NK, have got themselves into trouble by making a statement which is in their head harmless, but someone has picked it up the wrong end of the stick or took it the wrong way and got all anti on it. It depends how emotionally they pick something up and react on it. Now, no disrespect, you or I do it, doesn't really affect the world's markets. But if JP Morgan or Charles Schwab or Goldman Sachs or Bloomberg do it, it will affect the world's markets. But it's still human like us, if you know what I mean. Okay, Anna Marie. Don't tell me you're hitting the lights out and you're not on board, Marius. That's the discipline you got to work out, guys. Don't take the stress of winning. See what he said there? I'm not picking here, Mr. Smith. I couldn't stand the stress I got out of a winner. But look, not you, not too bad here. But how many people can stand the stress of a loser and hang on to the loser? So hang on to the loser till their account is wiped, so they can handle that. When it's winning, what can't handle the stress? I'm making a joke of it for you to get the concept, how sort of contradictory our emotions were. We can get that. It takes a bit of time to get this concept. It took me a bit of time to get this concept, but it's far, a million times more valuable than what the hell a Bollinger Band's going to do. Bit of self-analysis on the emotions works wonders, and you'd be surprised how all the bloody say, well, I'm too stressed in this winning trade. I'm holding on to that to ask Mark. Sorry to tease you, Mark. Are you still in that gold trade about 10,000 years ago? Oh, yeah, you see what I mean? I have to hold on to that, but far too stressed to hold on to a nice winning one. So don't take that, Mark. Ride it till you're stopped out and keep modifying. If it continues down to 1.1 or whatever, I want you to be on board, mate. And then buy me a first-class flight down to Cape Town so I can share and have a beer with you. I'm getting a bit worried about it, to be honest, Vicky. I was mentioning this morning, I'm seeing a bit of downside. We've got a long trade out. I'm a bit worried about it. I've met in my weekly analysis. I know we got the TP there. I said new trades, but I said be prepared for a bit of a pullback of the 100-day moving average. So I'm getting a bit worried. In theory, you should have a stop loss that protects you anyway. So if you stop loss, let's say 84.50, you're going to get out in a profit. If you're getting worried, you can take it now, but that's your choice. I'm just giving you the options. I'm not saying because it could jump up again. You know what I mean? I like it. I think I covered the swap piece today. Oh, I know. I don't like it. I work for the company. That's part of our income you just stolen. I'm going to have a word about you with my MD. Yeah. Oh, my little boy when things go well. Hey. Yeah, I'm like a kid in the candy shop. I'm seriously pleased with you, Mark. You're probably more pleased than you are. He's a good oak, yeah. God, he probably agree with me. Tease the hell out of him. It means thinks you're a good oak. Mind you won't see a good oak anymore. To say, hang on, guys, he's not paying you enough swap fees. He's doing too well. You might turn the tide on that one, yeah. Yeah. But I must admit, I don't know how I get away with all the four-letter words. Then I get away with it. I clearly been in the Merchant Navy, so I brought up with it. But I mean, some people could be offended. I think be a bit careful on that. Right, 84.50, Vicky. Okay, seem to be bouncing a bit. 84.50. There's the decision made. Protect yourself. 84.50 in a profit, whatever. If it goes back 87, at least you're on board. If you're not, you make some money. Right, clearly what he's saying now, look at the movement of the dollar. Look what he's saying now. It's now shooting up. It was this morning 104.10. It's now 105.17. That's a big move. So clearly, obviously, I don't hear what he's saying, but I can see what the interpretation is. Inflation is still there. Looks like interest rate rising is going to be the name of the game. We'll see what's all going on later on in the news and tomorrow, whether like it's going to be 0.5% or 40% coming up. When's it? Week or two's time, whenever it is. No, don't chase it, Mark. I've said that before. This is FOMO. Don't do well and then start chasing a ship that sails. It didn't get in 1850, like I mentioned this morning, on a punt of a trade with a risk to try to chase when everyone else is on board. It's the last time to chase it, because that's when the big boys start getting out. When the masses start doing it, the big boys go the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Because the masses are poor, the big boys are rich. So you do the opposite of what the masses do. That was a complete FOMO. And you get cute now, you suddenly made a win, and then you think this is all right. And that's the quickest way to put it back. Last 3 spins at the casino, ladies and gentlemen. What do? You blow your last few hours and make it work. Well done, Marius. But be honest, Marius, I'm not embarrassed for everyone else here, but you're quite a disciplined guy. I think you're getting in with your head fetish on your shoulders. A bit like Anna Maria. Well, I've never met her. She gives me that impression. She's going in with your feet on the ground and saying, this is a short-term trade. I'm going to follow it down, not jumping because bloody hell, I've won some. I think it's looking okay. That's emotion. Plus, to be fair, you're doing it every day. You've got a bit of experience on that particular commodity, which is good. Yeah, the biggest way to see an amateur is holding on forevermore and modifying the stop loss away from entry, because it all gets stopped out until they're 20, 30, 40, 50% down on one, incredibly overexposed on one instrument, and then getting a profit and panicking, taking it after being 1% up. Yeah, that is clearly an amateur who's completely ruled by their fear, which is overtaking their greed. That's the person you'll be going to casino. At least you have a free, I think, not sure you have free drinks anymore, but at least you can sit in a comfortable place. This one we definitely missed, GBP CHF. Have a quick look at it now. I wanted to take it, I missed it. Up here, remember somewhere up here a couple of days ago, somewhere up here I wanted to sell it. And anyway, I missed that. It's really good. You better be on board there, Mark, or I'll come after you. I've got a private jet that'll come after and hunt you down. You better be on board this. I hope you haven't panicked and taken profit now. If you're holding on to gold for edge, you more want to hold on this winner. GBP USD. Are you still on board? You better be. Good man. Remember what I said, Mark? You hold on to gold for 6 months and a loser. Why rush out of a winner after 1 day? Hold it. I want to see you in 6 months' time holding on to your winner, where it's 0.77. You get my point. Unlikely, but you know what I'm saying. Carol, I'm bloody impressed. Anybody else still in the pound dollar? Because this one, we talk about what's the idea of risk and reward? If you're risking 1 to 2 or 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 1.8, means you're winning 18 units by risking 10. But everyone's grabbing 2 or 3 here in the winner and holding on for 10, and then some like 20 modify the stop loss. No wonder they've complained about the signals, not reading it. This signal should make up for the other 2 if they bomb out, if you hold on properly like you're doing. Yeah, it's going through at the moment. Remember, we will react, yeah, after a big move. There will be some people doing the emotional side, can't handle the stress of winning so much and taking it on that, and they'll see that brown line there, the 200-day moving average. There will be some happenings there, but I'm looking at the dollar. It's still strengthening. The yields are still strengthening. Powell's still speaking. He might screw it up, and it's coming to the round figure 1.19. That's a bit of psychological resistance as well. It might have a jump up, As long as you haven't got your stop too tight, it might to jump up a little bit and come off. If your stop is not too tight, what do you mean not too tight? Oh, God, no. Difficult. Maybe 1.1950 or 40 at best. Don't put it 20, it's too close. It might get a jump for that fear aspect, guys, because they're taking strain winning, you know what I mean? So they're getting out. And more I like the way I put that, because as I say, that the psychological aspect, they just can't handle the winning, so they think it's going to be taken away from them. But see how it's bouncing, not that much. It might continue its run down, and tomorrow it's 1.18, and then you're not on board. So try and see if you can stick with it. It might go through. If it doesn't, you made a decent profit. At least you gave it a proper good shot. You want to buy the Swiss franc now? It's one of the stronger ones, and maybe a bit of FOMO. No, I wouldn't agree. Resistance here, never mind what he says there. Cycle of resistance there, 40 pips away. Stop down here, preferably down here, 120 pips away. Have been stopped out, you're still in. Don't do this one. No, don't chase the dollar on this one. First question, no, Morris, no. If you're in, great. If you're not in, fantastic if you're in, but start looking maybe getting out. This is one of the stronger ones. You're buying against one of the stronger currencies. Don't chase this one to buy, no. Better fish to fry. Okay, well, that's fantastic, okay. 149, does that mean you're still in? And that's where you are at the moment, or you've got out, and that's your profit? And remember, 149 sounds brilliant until you start getting to the Dow and the NAS. Remember that original trade? We did 1,000 on the Dow, and we did about 700 on the NAS. So that's why I stopped out. Never mind, you did okay. Brilliant. You're joking, Pete. You are kidding me. That's not possible. AUD, that signal of mine is actually going the right direction. Don't say it's only one pip, mate. Please don't tell me that. It's not stopped out, but it's still a complete bloody disaster if you got in it. Just over 91. But if it can start actually going up, I think you might get something out of it. I just don't know. I was obviously kidding there. It's good news. Sure, it's come off that. There might be some profit-taking buyers coming in. That's brilliant. Fantastic, Mark. Well done. Well, Pete, I hope you're going to be right. And I hope this is going to start saying, come on, this is ridiculous. Buyers, let's get in on this. And the short sellers, remember the short sellers, Derek and Company? When they exit, they buy. When you're in the same... Wow, that made me jump. Maybe somebody else won or stopped out on that one. Mutual. Don't forget, when you're short, you exit by buying. So if you're in short selling, let's say I'm selling if you exit. No, it just means you're increasing your position. You exit. So there might be some guys taking profit here before a short covering bounce, hopefully. And if nothing else, because it's come off so much, I'm taking a profit, you know, the fear of winning too much, as we joked about earlier on. And I think some buyers might start being attracted. What's wrong with his Aussie dollars? You know, it's not that bad. China's doing okay. You might get something, but just accept the fact you might get stopped out on this. So be it. And hope you made more than enough on the GBP USD to make up for that, because it's a higher risk reward ratio. So when it hits your TP, you'll make at least 1.5 to 2 times, sometimes more than on the loss. And that's the proper way it should be looked at. I'm not keen on this one. We might get a jump, but I think this one is, if it's a baddie, just kick it in the bum and just kick it to touch and move on. If you like it, you've done this before, you've got to mind your own heart. You think it might recover, I have no problem with it. But I'm reluctant to put my head on the block, or put my arse on the line rather, and say, I can't be wrong, go in again. And I have to be honest. Maybe just say, put it behind, go on the next one. But it could quite well jump up here. Obviously, I hope it does, because a lot of guys are still in it. It hasn't been stopped yet. Remember, the stop was at 91.15. So they're still in anyway. So I'm just hoping we're going to get over it, bump up. Okay. But if you want, I'm not against the idea. I think it's a crazy idea. But use a wider stop than the original one. Put the stop below 90. And it has got some resistance here, as you can see. See that? We've got a bit of resistance, technically speaking, there. That's probably more correct to say around about this level here. Yeah, right about there. Look at the body as well as the wings. Okay. Yeah, not always like that. Some are the worst to me. That's the worst if you're losing and you get out by a bloody fundy stuffing you up. That really depresses me. And the other ones are boring when nothing's happening. Scramble to find a trade, nothing's happening. That's just boring. That's awful. But yeah. What about the AUD? Is that doing anything at the moment? Well, it's trying to. It's trying to. What do we get in on this one? Getting the right GBP AUD? Oh, no, wrong. It's a bloody value, dickhead. Well, it's a bit better. It was down at, what was it down earlier on? Let's have a look. 15-minute. Well, it's a little bit better. It's trying to go up, give it its due, but it's not really getting your legs on it. We might. It's a buy, isn't it? GBP AUD as a buy. Why is it a buy? Why is that a buy? Must be a reason. Yeah, it's the buy zone. Okay, makes sense. Okay. 179.85 EP. Am I talking rubbish? It doesn't seem familiar. That was Maris. Oh, Maris's idea, I'm with you now, which I agreed with and I sent out. Okay, no, hang on. This is a buy at 79.85 and it's practically up to break even. So this is not a total disaster. GBP was a beaut. ADJPY, we might keep fingers crossed. You're selling it. According to this one, oh, hang on. We're selling it. I thought that looked familiar. Get this right. There's something wrong here somewhere. I think I've written the wrong thing down here. Just give me a moment, guys. Sorry about this. It's a sell. What have I got down as a buy, you dickhead? Sorry. That was the buy was Marius, wasn't it? We get in at that's right. GBP, beg your pardon, sorry about that. A sell, just write the signal down as is verbatim. 1.7973, 1.8076, 1.7765. And the risk is 118 per micro. Okay, thanks. Someone's got me up. I thought that didn't look right. Why would I suddenly buy the pound? It was a sell with a high. Made no sense. Sorry. I had yours, Marius. Someone's basically forgotten you. I forgot mine. Okay, right. Good enough. So the sell, we want it to come down. The sell was 73. And is it coming off? Yes, it is. A little bit. Seems to be trying to prop up and come off, so we might come right on this one. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bits at the moment, above entry, but that's not a disaster. Okay, let's have a look at that then. See what we've got to say for the dollar rand. Before we go any further, aren't you guys, sorry to reiterate this again, that will happen. That's not the rand, that's the dollar, by the way. Just remember, guys, the dollar rand is called an exotic, so it will attract higher margins. So you've got low accounts, leave it alone. And it costs higher costs. Let's have a look at the costs. Left click, right click, specifications. The spread is 25 pips. That's hectic. So just remember, it can be very profitable, can move quick, which is nothing wrong with it, as long as you know the costs and deposits are higher. Margin deposit means same thing. Right, you're asking now, what you look, I'm looking at it now. But what am I deducing from that? Leave it alone. You're looking at a FOMO job there. I wouldn't be chasing it here. That's correct, it did. Fund is not in here. I've modified, or I've changed the filter on the euro, on the economic calendar to include 2 stars. I've been missing 1 or 2, and the essay came up, so correct. And it was lower than expected. Look, expect that plus 0 point something, and it was minus 1 point something. So the GDP wasn't good. So didn't help the rand's course. Absolutely correct. The week before Powell spoke, but the extra bump is coming from Powell. I still wouldn't chase it now. Okay, I'll answer your question, Gerard. That's my opinion. Okay. Hey, it's past already. It's so exciting. Beautiful. Time flies. You're having fun, eh? AUDJPY. Nah, give it up, Gerard. Leave this thing alone. Accept the fact that you might get stopped out on this. Keep your fingers. We're already out of the GBP to USD as a TP. What a pleasure. So keep your fingers. We're going to get this one working for us. Just keep your fingers on them. That was quite an exciting one. That was good. I enjoyed today's. Hope you did as well. And I just have to say, if the Euro JP, sorry, the AUD JPY doesn't come to the party, and this one comes to the party, and the other one definitely came to the party, you should definitely come out with a net profit overall. Okay. Okay, guys, thanks very much as always. And hope the guys will come a couple of times, or even the first time. We'll be coming more often. And yeah, hope we can be doing that. Okay, past, gotta go. Cheers, guys. Okay, no problem. Understand that, Mark. Maybe see you later on. Okay, see you when I can see you. Cheers, guys. Cheers.